When Fame first hit the screen in 1982, it was an instant sensation, capturing the hearts of audiences across the globe and earning prestigious accolades at the 53rd Academy Awards. The film was even selected by the United States Library of Congress to be part of the National Film Registry, a nod to its cultural, historical, and aesthetic importance. It launched the careers of stars like Irene Cara, Debbie Allen, and Jean Anthony Ray, propelling them to fame and leaving a lasting impact on all who watched. But just like the bright stage lights that fade with time, the shine of this once glorious phenomenon has softened over the years. Now, more than 40 years later, the stars who were once household names are nearly unrecognizable. Beneath this fading star power lie tragic stories and the harsh realities of a lifestyle that led them down a dark path. What really happened to these icons? How have the faces we once adored changed over time? Join us as we take an emotional and surprising journey through the lives of the FAME cast. Irene Cara, Coco Hernandez, and the journey from glory to tragedy. When we think of the unforgettable movie Fame, the first person who comes to mind is surely Coco Hernandez, the dazzling star of the film whose beauty and angelic voice captured the hearts of audiences everywhere. Yet, who could have predicted that this shining light would eventually dim, leaving behind a tragic tale that still shakes those who remember her? In 1982, when FAME first graced the screen, Coco Hernandez became the epitome of ambition and talent. Played by Irene Cara, Coco embodied the drive and determination to conquer obstacles and achieve greatness. Irene, with her powerful voice and striking presence, quickly rose to fame, becoming one of Hollywood's brightest stars. The film's success didn't just make Coco a beloved icon, but also launched Irene Cara to international stardom. The hit song, Fame, with its unforgettable line, "I'm gonna live forever," was a bold proclamation of Irene's bright future. However, that future was much shorter than anyone could have imagined. Much like her character Coco, Irene Cara burned with a passion for fame. But rather than soaring to new heights, she quickly found herself caught in the chaos of scandals and a reckless lifestyle. Rumors swirled about struggles in her personal life, from clashes on set to tumultuous relationships and financial battles with those she trusted. Off-screen, Irene became a regular in tabloid stories, not for her talent, but for her wild partying and late-night escapades. Alcohol and substance abuse slowly wore down the glittering image she once had. Public appearances revealed a tired, worn version of the star, with dark circles under her eyes and a face that reflected the toll of her lifestyle. Harsh remarks in the press and on social media only deepened Irene's descent, pushing her further into a spiral of self-destruction. The consequences were steep. In her later years, Irene lived in quiet obscurity in a modest apartment, far from the fame and admiration she once knew. The face that had once captivated the world now showed the marks of time and excess. Her frail body and weary posture made it hard to recognize the vibrant Coco Hernandez from years before. Struggling with serious health issues, including heart disease and the long-term effects of substance abuse, Irene faced financial hardship, burdened by medical bills and isolation from friends and family. Leroy Johnson and the Dance of Missteps. After the spotlight, while Irene Cara mesmerized audiences with the voice and relentless ambition of Coco Hernandez, Jean Anthony Ray took the screen by storm with the fiery energy and magnetic presence of Leroy Johnson. Leroy wasn't just the star of Fame's electric dance numbers, he embodied a raw, untamed talent that left a lasting impression. Yet, much like Irene, Jean Anthony Ray couldn't outrun the harsh realities of life, where Fame's bright light soon flickered out, leaving behind wounds that never healed. When Fame premiered in 1982, Leroy Johnson quickly became a fan favorite. Played by Gene Anthony Ray, Leroy was a gifted dancer with a bold, captivating style. Just like his character, Gene had no formal training but amazed audiences with his natural charisma and impressive dance moves. This role catapulted Gene Anthony Ray to international fame, turning him into a symbol of passion and personal freedom. But reality soon took a darker turn. After Fame's success, Gene found himself caught in a spiral of poor decisions. Scandals followed him, from reports of on-set clashes to stories of his rebellious behavior and troubled personal life. Gene struggled to maintain control, sinking into wild parties and substance abuse. With no strong support system to guide him, Fame quickly became a heavy burden that led him down an even darker path. Gene's life unraveled, marked by reckless behavior that took a toll on both his health and his public image. The Leroy Johnson fans once adored faded from their memories as financial troubles and a dwindling career took their toll. Forced to sell his belongings just to survive, Gene slipped further into instability, relying on the kindness of friends for a place to stay. In his final years, Gene Anthony Ray was a far cry from the vibrant star he once was. He appeared gaunt, exhausted, and broken by the passage of time and the toll of his choices. Those who saw him during this period couldn't help but feel sadness at the sight of the once bright star living in temporary housing, struggling with severe health issues from years of substance abuse and excess. In 2003, Gene Anthony Ray passed away at the age of 41 from complications of a stroke and AIDS. His death marked the tragic end of a short, tumultuous life, from the dazzling heights of fame to the depths of personal sorrow. Lydia Grant, the rocky road behind the spotlight. Another unforgettable character from Fame whose life took unexpected turns after the spotlight dimmed is Debbie Allen, the talented actress who brought Lydia Grant to life. When Fame premiered in 1982, Lydia Grant quickly became one of the film's most adored characters. As the dance instructor at the School of the Arts, Lydia was the embodiment of resilience, strict yet nurturing, always putting her students first. Debbie Allen's portrayal of this strong, caring woman won her a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress and made her a symbol of strength and perseverance, especially for women facing adversity. However, as her career soared, the pressures of fame began to take a toll on Debbie. Despite her confident, powerful public persona, she was privately struggling with feelings of loneliness and a lack of love in her life. By the mid-1980s, even with her career still thriving, Debbie encountered personal challenges. Her family life was not as smooth as her professional one. She married actor Norm Nixon in 1984, but their relationship was marked by struggles. The strain in their marriage, coupled with a lack of emotional fulfillment, left Debbie feeling drained, even as she continued to pour herself into her work as an actress, choreographer, and director. She was involved in major projects like A Different World, 1987, and The Cosby Show, but a sense of emptiness lingered. By the late 1990s, Debbie began shifting away from major roles and focused more on directing. Though no longer in the spotlight as she had once been, she continued to make significant contributions to the arts, particularly through creating programs for young audiences. These years brought their own challenges as Debbie battled chronic back pain, a result of years of demanding work as a dancer and choreographer. Despite the personal and professional struggles, Debbie Allen eventually distanced herself from the glitz and glam of her earlier life. Instead of attending parties or performing on stage, in the early 2000s, Debbie underwent a major transformation in her personal life. She found balance and began mending her relationship with her husband, Norm Nixon, who became her steadfast companion. While her life no longer shone as brightly as in her younger years, though Debbie Allen has since found tranquility and continues to share her artistic gifts, she can never forget the emotional toll of portraying Lydia Grant. Lydia was a model of strength and determination, yet beneath that powerful exterior, she too battled with personal struggles and overwhelming responsibility. Bruno Martelli. Talent couldn't save him from life's challenges. Shifting away from the larger-than-life stories of the leading stars, let's focus on Bruno Martelli, portrayed by Lee Carreri, and witness the profound journey of this once promising talent, whose rise and fall unfolded over the past 40 years. When Fame hit theaters in 1982, Lee Carreri became an unforgettable face as Bruno Martelli, a gifted musician with an unyielding passion for music. Bruno's character, a keyboardist who embraced the electronic music revolution, captured the hearts of viewers with his memorable moments and innovative compositions. After Fame, Lee embarked on a challenging journey filled with unexpected twists and turns. Following his role as Bruno Martelli, Lee Carreri set his sights on a career in music and acting. Yet, the shadow of Bruno hung over him, making it hard to break free from his famous role. By the late 80s and early 90s, Lee turned back to his musical roots, working as a producer and composer for independent projects, but he never reached the level of recognition he once enjoyed. By the 2000s, Lee Carreri largely retreated from the public eye. He chose a quieter existence, focusing more on behind-the-scenes work in the music world. His passion for music remained, but he came to terms with the fact that the grand dreams of stardom he once held were slipping further away. One of Lee's most significant struggles was his inner conflict with failure and the sense of stagnation in his career. Like his character Bruno Martelli, Lee had longed for recognition and success, but instead faced the slow fade of his relevance in the entertainment industry. Financial challenges became another concern for Lee as the years wore on. Despite remaining active in music, he found it difficult to sustain a stable lifestyle. By the 2010s, Lee Carreri was still involved in music, but he had long since let go of the dreams of stardom that once fueled him. Instead, he focused on mentoring emerging artists, collaborating with indie musicians, and composing for smaller-scale projects. Today, Lee Carreri, though far removed from the star he once was, continues to embrace music, his one true love. The scars of a career that never reached its potential remain with him, but Lee has learned to live with those realities, finding peace in the music he creates. Doris Finsecker, from shy girl to a life of bittersweet struggles. In Fame, 1982, Maureen Teefey brought Doris Finsecker to life, a sweet, shy girl from a small town with big dreams of making it at New York's prestigious School of the Arts. Doris, with her gentle voice and quiet determination, captured the hearts of audiences, symbolizing the young dreamers striving to make their mark in a competitive world. But while Doris's journey was filled with hope, Maureen Teefey's own path after Fame was far less kind, filled instead with unexpected challenges and painful struggles. After Fame, Maureen Teefey found it difficult to maintain the career momentum that some of her co-stars enjoyed. Though she appeared in several TV shows and films, none of her roles could recreate the magic she had on screen as Doris. The 1980s and 1990s brought a series of disappointments, with major career opportunities slipping through her fingers. The musical projects she pursued failed to find their footing, and her career faded from the public eye, offering little in terms of breakthroughs. Beyond her professional setbacks, Maureen also faced personal hardships. Her first marriage, which she had hoped would provide the warmth and love of a stable family, ended in the mid-1990s. The separation was painful, leaving her feeling a deep sense of loss. The hopes she had for a perfect life slowly crumbled, and the emotional scars of that period stayed with her for many years. Financially, Maureen's situation also grew uncertain. With her acting career no longer providing a steady income, she was forced to find work outside of entertainment. As the years went by, she found herself living in a state of financial and emotional instability, struggling with the reality that the fame she once had seemed so distant. Today, Maureen Teefey lives a quieter, more private life, far removed from the public eye. She has stepped away from the world of entertainment, focusing instead on her family and a few small artistic projects. She no longer seeks the spotlight, but has learned to find joy in the simple things. Though Maureen is no longer the hopeful Doris Finsecker from FAME, she remains a resilient woman who has weathered her share of storms. While she never fully reclaimed the dreams that eluded her, she continues to move forward, carrying both the pain and the wisdom of her journey. Montgomery McNeil, a life torn. Apart by mistakes. One character who truly brought soul to fame was Montgomery McNeil, played by Paul McCrane. Montgomery represented the raw ambition and struggles of youth. Yet, behind McCrane's bright career lay a story of personal turmoil and battles that few knew about. His life, like Montgomery's, took a turn no one saw coming. Landing the role of Montgomery shot Paul McCrane into the spotlight, marking a proud chapter in his life. But fame, as we know, can be a double-edged sword. Though he appeared in a number of films and TV shows, none of his roles after Montgomery left the same impact. His career, once full of promise, slowly began to fade as opportunities became fewer and farther between. Along with a stagnating career, McCrane's personal life took a hit. After a marriage ended in the late 1980s, he faced long years of loneliness and feelings of self-doubt. Professionally and emotionally, he struggled to find his footing. His journey became a constant battle, with setbacks at every turn. In 1990, McCrane faced a major financial crisis. While it wasn't widely known, reports suggested he was battling significant debt. His failed career attempts only deepened his insecurities, and the success of his peers served as a painful reminder of his struggles. As the years went by, McCrane's passion for acting faded. He stopped pursuing large film roles and chose instead to withdraw from public life. No longer a familiar face in Hollywood, he sought peace and stability in the quieter corners of life, still carrying the weight of his past, but learning to navigate it with grace. Today, Paul McCrane leads a calm, peaceful life with his family, far from the spotlight that once defined him. He's found balance in anonymity, occasionally stepping into jobs outside of entertainment, free from the public's constant gaze. While he may no longer be the celebrated star of his early career, Paul McCrane's resilience stands as a testament to overcoming life's most difficult battles. The journey of the characters in FAME is one that blends inspiration with hardship, filled with moments of triumph as well as struggle. From the shining lights of the spotlight to the unexpected challenges that life throws their way, they have shown us that success and fame are just a small part of the bigger picture. What truly matters is how we rise to meet challenges and grow through change. What do you think of their stories? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to stay tuned for our next video to discover more untold stories from behind the spotlight.